Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Aproko Hour on Viva Niger Radio. I am your host. Did you forget me? Did you forget all about me just because I was absent for a few weeks? Y'all ain't loyal. But for those of you who remembered me, for those of you who stayed loyal, for those of you who missed me, I'm back. So I missed you guys so much. I was out of the country. I had to go to the motherland. I was in Nigeria, and the whole time I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much apropos, there's so much going on, there's so much, and I'm not a part of it. I can't log on, I can't do anything because I was traveling, I was working, and I was seeing family, and I was, let me be honest, I was eating banga soup the whole time. So I didn't even have time to even check on you guys. I'm so sorry, but I'm back and we're good to go. The apropos starts and the apropos continues. So without further ado, let me get my ladies in the his house. You know we'd never do this alone, right? Otherwise it'll just be madness, just talking to yourself. So as usual, I have my able co-hosts with me, starting with the queen bee of the bad gang. It's none other than Abimbola Miomo. What it do, baby boo? Thank you, thank you, thank you. How are you? How was your week? What did you do? What were you up to? I can hear it. I was like, which frog were you kissing? What happened? How did you? Oh, yeah. And also on the line, we have the HR director of the Bad Gang, none other than the Meister of hiring and firing, Rachel America. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Rachel. Can you hear us? Oh, I don't think. Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah. We, do you know what? It's like we one breeze came and blew all the crazy over to America because it was just one thing between America and Nigeria. Whatever is going on, maybe y'all are in some kind of monsoon season and craziness is raining and just falling out of the sky because the things I've been hearing, I don't even know how to deal. There is so much, you know how we normally do? Normally we have four topics, right? Um, this week I had six, seven. The only reason why I didn't put the woman with the jazzed up husband is because I believe we put this to bed on Talking Drum on Wednesday. But if we were to even start with her, that would be seven topics just for apropos hour today. So we have a whole lot of ground to cover. So let's start straight away. Let's start with, yeah, let us talk about the woman with the jazzed up husband. Although it seems like a lifetime ago that happened. Does anyone, for the people who weren't with us on Talking Drum, let's do a quick recap. Does anyone have any, what are their opinions on this woman who said her husband was jazzed? Her husband, who she lives with here in the UK, is spending money on gifts, Erabo in Nigeria. Gifts, mother and gifts have connived together and gone to native doctor and made her husband spend 15,000, 16,000, bought gifts a house, I mean built gifts a house and all of this. What is your take on this, Rachel? Let me start with you. Yes. Yes, yes. And Oga will be very surprised at how quickly this his girlfriend all of a sudden doesn't want anything to do with him once, yeah, so yes. Okay, so on Talking Drum, actually, so it's funny you should mention that because on Talking Drum we talked about what do men expect a woman to do when she hears this about her husband, when she, you know, what should she have done really? What do we expect her to do? But then again, um, I want to talk about women now. If your friend, what would you advise a girlfriend to do? Because there was a girl in the video who was like, hey, and don't forget to mention this. Don't forget to mention that. If you had a friend who came to you in complete bits, my husband has been doing this, I can't believe it. The guy I thought I loved, if you know what he has been doing with all of our life savings, if you know what he has been doing with this, blah, 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 what would you say to such a lady? Yes, that's for you. And Bimbo can after you, I would like Bimbo to answer as well. Mm, mm, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. 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 Mm, yes. Even it doesn't matter. It's not like, oh, I'm keeping him because it's been 20 years. It could be, I don't want to throw it away because I still love him. This is still my husband at the end of the day. And I'm not about to let him go over some little girl. Absolutely. That's right. Mm, mm. Okay. 100. Exactly. Me, I don't have house for you. I don't have where I'm going to put you at all. At all. At all. Okay, so I wanted to ask this question that you were saying. So, Bimbo, I'm still going to come to you, but what you were saying about, oh, um, it's been 20 years, she doesn't want to. Do you think there is some kind of pressure on women to divorce the husband? Like, pẹ̀lú gbogbo ohun tó fojú ẹ̀ rí, with everything, you still stayed with him, or Denny girl, yesha, or Denny. Is there some kind of shame or some kind of societal pressure to leave if it's not what, or if your husband embarrasses you in public? I mean, if there's some sort of, yeah, yeah, yes, okay, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Because I find some women, I guess I should say, making excuses for staying in a marriage. Like, oh, you don't understand. It's been X number of years. Oh, you don't understand. Where we are coming from. I'm like, I don't need to understand. That's your husband. If you don't want to leave him, don't leave him. If you want to stay, stay. That sort of. So let me speak with Bimbo. Bimbo, what do you think? If you were a girlfriend and a friend came to you and said, my husband has spent this amount on this woman, has done this, has done this, has done this, has done this, shamed me, everybody knows about this girl, everybody, I'm just dying right now. What would you say to such a lady? Mm. Where are you at? Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
To stay ahead, stay. So, but how are you going to make sure that this does not happen again? Or are you ready for it to be happening again? Are you just going to keep calm and carry on? You don't have to make excuses. And frankly, when society starts saying, ah, foolish woman, she left, so now will say, what is it that her husband has even done? This if you carry, you're going to be feeling for children by yourself now. It's all a whole bunch of nonsense. The most fact of the matter is, it is whatever you want. If you think you want to stay in the marriage and work on it, and the man's going to be continuously cheating on you, do whatever you want. If that works for you, it's not me that is in the marriage. It's not me that's going to live it for you. And whatever people say, you just have to deal with it. People are going to say, she took a marking one with her own. It got to a certain point, she really couldn't stay with him because
Yes.
I think part of it just came down to he was now public shame, so she couldn't stay with him. Or maybe that was just part of it, and she finally had enough. But it was simply much it's Tiwa Savage as well. Do gra gra, leave for a while, then come back because basically they're telling you, okay, you've been
Mm.
working at this for many
Mm.
years. That's their
Mm.
own. So I would say you need to know what you want first.
Okay. Um, have you ever been in a position where, so what if the lady tells you something, and what have you ever been in a position where you don't agree with what she tells you? If she says, actually, I want to stay, so let's take it up a notch and let's remove cheating or something. Let's call it whatever. Let's say it's even cheating, but you are of the firm belief that, listen, you need to leave. Would you ever try to talk somebody out of a marriage?
No.
Why?
Let's say
No.
for whatever
Why?
reason you have your opinion, like, "Ah, but boy, Mark by CB, but if you continue, staying with him, or
Well,
have you,
to be
well,
honest, it depends. To be honest, it depends. I think it's something like domestic violence, and I've seen her hurt several times. It depends on how close we were. I'll just be like, okay, you know what? This is me helping you pack your bag right now. You know, let's just just go before you die.
mm,
But then, to be honest, I think the final word would have to remain with the person because I can help her carry her bag. She'll just carry his bag the next day. So it all comes down to there's the part of me that wants to kind of make the person like, okay, you know what, are you afraid to take the first step? Okay, let me help you take the first step right now,
mm.
and let's see where we get to.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. So since we're talking about, infidelity and men leaving or women leaving or choosing to leave and the repercussions of leaving, because this is actually, like I said, we're going to do a complete zoom, zoom, zoom. There's so much to talk about. Let's talk about Mel B. Now, Mel B was one of the Spice Girls, as we know, and she married, I believe it's her second husband. There's a guy called, is he called something Belafonte, basically. So she's found out a whole bunch of stuff about him, found out he was cheating, found out he was spending her money on girls, found out this, found out that, all sorts of things. He's been abusive, he's been emotionally abusive. He didn't take her, Stephen Belafonte is his name. Now, so they're going through divorce. She decided to divorce him. Now she's once again, like Mary J. Blige and a whole bunch of women before her, she's been hit with all sorts of alimony. She's been hit with all sorts of. So, I want to talk about women when you leave, some of the consequences you need to think about before you leave. It says Mel B's bank account is going to take a painful hit, at least for now, because she's been ordered to pay her estranged husband $40,000 a month. That's some people's annual salary, but moving on. Stephen Belafonte's request for emergency spousal support was granted by a judge who agrees he needed help paying for food, housing, and his phone. amongst other things. It could have been worse for Mel. According to documents, she could have been forced to pay 15,000 more a month based on what her income and expense, what her income is and what his expenses are. But the judge decided to cut her a break. So she could have been paying 55,000 as opposed to the 40,000 she's been ordered to pay. Oh, by the way, also, the order includes a one-time payment of $140,000 for Stephen's legal fees. So Mel will have to cut a check for that plus 40K monthly until both sides work out their final divorce settlement. As reported, Mel argued last month that Stephen's financial requests were ridiculous and he needed to get a job. But of course, this isn't going to happen because she's now been ordered to cover his costs. Now, I've said this before, and I don't care. I'll say it again. Feminism isn't just about only doing the things that work for you. You also have to have the other side, which is if you're the main income earner, you gotta pay. There are men who have to pay for wives they're divorcing, so women also have to pay for husbands they're divorcing. What I noticed, though, I read an article somewhere leading off of this, is that more wealthy men, have prenups than wealthy women. So women who go into a marriage knowing that they are the main breadwinner of the marriage, who are marrying some dude that doesn't have a job. So in the case of Mary J. Blige, he didn't have a job to the point that she made him her manager. Women tend to go, oh, it will look somehow if I now ask him for prenup, or it will look as if it's about my money, it will look as if it's about blah, blah. Whereas there are a lot of wealthy men who have no problems whatsoever asking this question. So my question, and I see the Barry White of the Bad Gang has joined us as well. My question to you guys, and I'm going to start with Dolapo, is what is it? I think there's a lot of, oh, even if you have no money, you should be humble. You shouldn't make it about the money. But what is it that makes wealthy women, not do this prenup? We are seeing again and again and again and again women getting hit for spousal support.
Well, hey, happy Friday, everybody.
Hi.
Oh boy, where do I start with this? On the Ibipelebelati Meko Jabi. Okay.
Benny.
Ole.
So,
That one passed my Yoruba understanding. I got F9 in my YX, so let's be putting it right.
Let me pick it from one side first. Men have been paying alimony for donkey years now.
Absolutely.
And a lot of rich men are now basically smarting up and saying, you know what, I gotta protect my assets now.
Yeah.
Not because I'm protecting it from the wife of my youth that I married when I had nothing. Maybe that wife passed away, or for whatever reason we're not together. I'm protecting it from that one.
These new hoes.
Came on board.
These new hoes.
Basically. And those are the ones that you're signing prenup with. You're not going to sign a prenup with somebody you met when you were starting up, you're just struggling together or whatever. You definitely, that one will just laugh at you and go like, prenup or on top
of what? This your one trouser and this your one shirt.
So you're trying to protect two pillows that you have or what?
No, but listen, people who even, let me put it this way, normal employee, normal moneyed people, I don't even know the English I want to speak, middle income people who are on their third wives still don't sign prenups. The fact still remains that it's people who have something to protect that go about signing prenups. So what if the whole time you were building this money and having this money, you didn't have a wife of your youth or whatever?
Exactly. The problem I have with prenup, not prenup per se, but there's a particular one that pisses me off, which is where both of you are healthy enough to work. You don't have anything else to take your time away from working. That is, if it was the wife, it's not like you all had young kids somewhere or kids somewhere where you were taken care of. You don't have kids or nothing, and yet you decide to just leave off this other your spouse here. And then for whatever reason, everything breaks apart, and the judge is saying, you know what, you must pay alimony for something. Why am I paying you alimony for what? So I agree with this instance where she says, you know what, you should go and look for a job. But guess what?
He
This is
doesn't
what
have to.
feminism never thought about. They
It's not a
never
matter
thought
of what
about the flip
feminism never
side.
thought about. I completely think that if you earn more and there is no prenup in place, the same thing that used to happen to men for generations has to happen to you. I don't have a problem with Mel B paying this money. She should pay it pata pata korogodo, and she cannot give him 39,999. She should pay the 40,000 Tiko Jaliti because she didn't sign a
Yeah.
prenup. Equally,
If
a gold
she
digger lady should also get her full 40,000 if the guy was so silly. Feminism isn't about, oh, now we have the men by the balls. It should be equal. If you don't, what I guess my argument is, we now see that this thing is equal. We now see that if a woman is the higher income earner, she also has to pay. What I'm asking is,
not
what is
not only
stopping?
we see that is equal, we also see that it hurts.
Yes. What is still stopping them, knowing fully well we are seeing the Mariah Carey's? She had to pay off. What's the name of her? The father of the twins.
Jeez.
Nick Cannon. She had to
Yeah.
pay off Nick Cannon before she got with her billionaire. We saw the same thing happen to Mary J. Blige. We're now seeing it. What is it about these women that is stopping them? So there was a series on Real Housewives of Atlanta where Candy Burruss wanted her fella, who she's now married to sign a prenup. And the thing dragged on for an entire whatever they're in series, right? Where the guy was like Tony or whatever his name is, I don't know. And everybody was like, why are you getting him to sign a prenup? Doesn't mean you don't care about him. Doesn't mean, and it was her mother was like, he will sign it. If he does not sign it, you will keep moving that wedding date until, and the guy got to the point where he can't stand his mother-in-law over this one issue.
Yeah, girl. You know, it's there's something that's so. As much as it's galling, as much as I want to scream at this guy and say, "Come on, wake up, boy, I be the craze or waiting," but there's still a side of me that goes, you know what? A lot of guys go through this, and the court would not even let them open their mouth. You know, even to forget even when they sign prenup. Look at Janet Jackson. She had a prenup, but the prenup said, okay, if you're able to survive 5 years, 5 years plus 1 day, you will get this. And what did she do? She waited for 5 years plus 1 day.
Yeah, she abided by the terms of the prenup.
And again,
so it's
that's
like
fine.
She went for the money. That's what That's what she was planning. You can't convince me otherwise.
Look,
of course,
if they're equally men, listen, we all do it. If I'm in a work environment, I can't stand my boss. I can't stand, but I know that if I do this job for 2 years, I qualify for one thing, or they can't fire me, or I qualify. I stay in the job. I deal with the bad boss. I deal with the whatever, until that 2 years. Then I know I'm on easy streets, or then I know I've got tenure, or then I know blah 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 blah. If I've got something against my parents, and my parents never loved me, they love my brothers more than my. I'm not gonna move out until I'm old enough to move out,
But
until I know that I can afford my own place.
there's something with that analogy. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
First of all, I don't know if you noticed that is the trend now for a lot of these actresses or musicians now. The ladies are now marrying billionaires.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
So it wasn't like a case of, to me now, if that is a trend, it doesn't sound to me like, oh, we fell in love and everything, but things just broke down after. No, it sounds like this was premeditated. Oh, he's smiling at me. Let me smile back. Oh, he's a billionaire. Oh, he likes me. Oh, I like you too. I wonder how much I can get. That
Okay,
is what it started to sound like.
I agree with that. And let me be 100% honest in case I'm coming off like a oh, I'm just one saint or one. If I have the
Yes,
opportunity,
Lagos is still smelling on you.
if I
Strongly
have
agree
the
with you.
opportunity to hang around at Rodeo Drive and wink at all the billionaires, Dollar Pop, that is what I would do. If I have to marry anyway, why would I marry an akushe? Why would I marry a? So yeah,
Oh,
somebody will
okay,
cut
so
eye for
then
somebody
let us
horn.
stop preaching about falling in love.
I've never
Let's stop
preached
preaching
about
about
falling
it
in love.
completely.
Oh. The thing that I am now saying is,
We can still fall in love with the millionaire and the
thank
billionaire. I
you.
mean,
The billionaire may have a
there's
very
no problem
fantastic
with
sense
that.
of humor. Oh well, in my what I am trying to say is this: these men also know that these women ain't about shit, which is why they have upped their prenup game. Their prenup game is tighter than it used to be. Their whatever is not. Men are no longer losing millions and billions to when this prenup matter first came out. That the women were really taking the guys to the cleaners, and yes, it hurts. So what I'm saying is, why are the women slow on the uptake? Is there something that is making women not not protect
Let
their
me,
assets?
No,
I'll
because
tell you why.
I think Rachel is
they're
about to
just
come.
letting down.
I think on the line beneath it all, no matter what we say, there is a greater number of women who still believe that the man is the alpha, he is the provider, and they do not really think that a man will come after their money.
I think that
Because
particular
nothing
last
else makes
statement.
sense.
Yeah.
Mm.
So women are still learners.
They're still learners in this game. They don't know that the
Mm.
man will come. What did that Mary J. Blige's husband do once? He wanted the guest room. He wanted her to pay for his kids from another relate. I mean, all sorts of things. The rates at which I'm
But
hearing
but
about women.
but those are things that if you flip it the other way, a man will be asked to pay for. It don't matter if you brought kids from a previous relationship to
You don't
ours that just
understand.
recently
I am
broke them.
mad at him. I am mad at him. I'm mad at her because this is not her first ride around the merry-go-round. I'm saying, what is it that is making women not protect? Because if you don't protect yourself, protect your assets, this exact same thing that happened to Mary J. Blige, that happened to Mariah Carey, that happened to Mel B, is going to happen to you. Average people are getting divorced. Why do you think you will not get divorced? And in the event that you get divorced, he will take half. Even if he doesn't want
Look,
to, a judge will look at Mel B is paying his legal fees, which is as it should be, by the way. Yeah, I'm not mad
Mhm.
at the judge. I think it
you know
should be
what?
that way. The reason why I think it should be that way is this. Listen, if I don't have the money for adequate legal representation, your lawyers will bury my government appointed guy in his
You
tier
can't
tier
get a
three.
government approval. You
Okay,
can't get a government approval for divorce. Because basically,
exactly.
you guys are choosing to separate. So if one party cannot afford the
That's true.
lawyer, they see it as unfair. But because they're not going to spend public money on you getting a divorce.
That's true.
You
So
see my
you
point?
bury
So
me.
that's
I'll
why
end
you
up
have to
with a
pay
shirt.
for it.
That's why the person with the higher money must pay the. Listen, there must be a level playing field. She must also have lawyers, or he must also have lawyers
Look,
that can
I don't
defend
know
them
why people are
robustly.
not. This thing is very simple. Me, Dolakwo, I'm a billionaire. For whatever reason, I now meet a small baby at my age.
Mm,
Is the prenup? The prenup, I can sign a standard prenup with her, but that money that she's already calculating as me as billionaire, that money is already tied up to some foundation somewhere, and
yeah.
they're just paying my expenses.
Mm. I just wonder why
So
it is.
even if you want to share 50, you're going to just share 50 on what they pay me as salary.
You won't see the real money. And I
This is the
think
new book
that's,
of the money. Why do
I
you
think,
think offshore banks are making shitloads of people like this? All the assets has been hidden. If you are smart enough to find it, go and find it, but you won't because
you won't
I'm
find it.
hidden it
So,
very well.
so
And that's exactly the thing. Go
I,
ahead.
I just think, I think women need to start sitting up and learning the lessons that men learned. And you don't, the whole point of life is when they say experience is the best teacher, it doesn't necessarily have to be your experience. You don't have to go broke trying to learn a lesson. You can learn, like, I don't have to wait to die first before I know that, oh, I should put on my seatbelt before I go out. You should know certain things and you should not take certain things for granted. So I wish them well. I'm not crying foul at all. I think, yeah, you absolutely should pay. You should pay if you are the one that is the mugu in this scenario. You should pay.
The
So
woman is
that's
collecting she collects $45,000 monthly from Eddie Murphy. So like she needs to
you see how the
she
cycle is going round. You see how it's going round.
Oh,
So
so
she
what is
fits up.
what is she complaining about?
Oh, she's
You
that
know,
somebody should go and get a
just
job.
turn around and give that money back to him, the ex-husband. He said, when you thought you were being smart, you didn't know that one.
In fact, if I was a guy, that is what I would just say with a dirty smile on my face, like.
if I was Eddie Murphy, I'm going to court too. If I'm Eddie Murphy, I'm going to court
I'll
because
be like,
I have no
excuse you?
guarantee you will give my money. Please I will take care of the child. You will have this situation, but I will be responsible. She gets $45,000 monthly from Eddie Murphy until their kid turns 18.
There you go. And that child is just like 5 or something. That child is still a child. So she's got another 13 years of easy street to go. Let's move on to the disease-ridden, the sex pests, the people who are doing cults, the occultic. Y'all need to. Usher is my boy. I'm very, y'all don't need to play Usher like this. Usher had to pay some woman $1.1 million as payment for giving her herpes. Now, it would seem that this woman was actually a bridesmaid in his first wedding to Tamika. So that's how long he's known this woman. Actually, Tamika stated this when they were going through problems, that he was actually sleeping with one of the bridesmaids. So, but at the time, everyone thought Tamika was mad because Tamika is mad. So that's the problem. When you are mad, nobody believes anything you say, even if, sometimes you're actually telling the truth. Tamika is as mad as a box of frogs. Everything that comes out of her mouth is crazy. So when she said this, everybody was like, kilo baso type of thing. Transpires, it's true, and it's not just true, but he actually gave her herpes. But this is old news. This isn't in this marriage now, that he's married to this woman now. So I have a question. Do you think we need to know, because I'm coming on to our daddy, Robert Kelly, do you think we need to know about the personal lives of musicians? Or should we just enjoy the music and leave it alone?
No, you don't need to know about their personal life. This is something, sorry, you see how I quickly answered there, because this has always been a bit of contention for me. Look, if your movie is good enough and your song is good enough, I'll go buy your album, I'll go watch your movie. Occasionally, I might get interested and stalk you online a bit to see if you is married, and silently curse you or the woman you're married to and do a voodoo doll of her. And thinking, why are you taking my movie star husband? Brian Gosling and some other ones. I'm trying to.
And some other ones, you polyandrous.
I'll just come across
You've had a lot repressed, eh?
In fact.
He's been paining her for a minute.
Let's just leave it at that. Exactly. Let's just leave it at that. There might be a little bit of fantasy, but ooh, nice and everything. But does he owe me his life because he acts in a movie that I like? Or
I can't hear you.
And I think, oh, he's handsome.
Does
Adele owe me her existence because I bought all of her album and I'm thinking, damn, she can sing? No. I don't want to know their personal life. They do not owe me their personal life. They are doing a job. Because their job happens to be something I'm interested in does not mean that their existence belongs to me. All the reporters have managed. It's basically this is how cultism works, where people, this is how brainwashing works, where they silently and slowly brainwash you with nonsensical information. So now journalists, people, not the olden days journalists. So now the new journalists, not proper journalists. These new journalists have managed to brainwash people in believing that stars and celebrities and people who are famous owe us their existence. Now I will tell you the kind of people who owe me something. A politician that I voted in there and put and say, do a job for me. Now, if you are not spending public money on that prostitute that is giving you herpes and you're carrying that around, like if it's destroying you, if it's stopping you doing your job and you're spending our public money, of course, in that case, it is my business. But I don't need to know what Brad Pitt is not doing in his house. That's not my problem. If I pay money for a movie and the movie is good, I'll be good. Okay, I'm good. Even if the money is bad, I'll vex a bit and go and comment. You know what? I fast. This movie was useless. But nobody forced me now. So why is his life my own? And this is the problem that I have, that journalism has been perverted into people believing that because someone is famous, that means their existence belongs to the public. It does not. It does not, because if it was vice versa, all the skeleton will be removing in other people's closets. Let me just pick one public person by saying, oh yes, we owe they owe us something, and I demolish their own life in public, and you see how they be crying, put their child on blast, their family on blast, what their drunk mother has been doing, what their pedophilic father has been doing. Let them see how it works out.
How it feels.
Anyway,
Does anyone have any other opinion? Does anyone think we should know this? Okay, let's talk about actually the sex is consensual with herpes. So let's talk about PC uncle R. Kelly and his penchant for young girls. Do we need to know if a musician we like is doing illegal stuff, or that shouldn't concern us either?
I'm going to stand on this first of all. If we're referring to R. Kelly here, he's not, at least it hasn't been proven that he's done anything illegal.
Oh, no. I'm just talking about some of the rumors in the past about his likeness for young girls under 18, young girls. Even this new rumors about him running a cult, where they said he kept about 6 girls in houses that he owns in Philadelphia and one other place and blah, blah, blah. One of the mothers actually said he waited until the girl was 18. So the girl had been going by the studio, blah, 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 blah. This woman self, I don't even know what she's thinking. That R. Kelly should be a mentor to her daughter. But then once the girl turned 18, the R. Kelly turned around and said to the mom, this is what the mom is now saying, that R. Kelly turned around and said to the mom, she's not going to know what this real music industry is about. Sitting at home, coming to the studio, and the recording studio is just one small part of it. Going on tour is the real, where the business is, where the money is, where the whole exposure is. But of course, by the time she was 18, even if the mother wanted to say no, she had no hold over the girl. So R. Kelly took this girl on tour, and she has not seen her child since the girl came back. She had a couple phone calls from the girl, and that was the end of Solomon Grundy. And, the girl lives, quote unquote, in an R. Kelly apartment. So in this particular instance, there's no word of foul play or illegal, there's no pedophilia, there's no...
It still doesn't take away from the fact that, R. Kelly is just scum.
Yeah.
Period. It doesn't take away. And I had this argument with a friend, was it yesterday, and he couldn't separate what I was trying to say, which is that, I have no respect for the guy. As a matter of fact, he's the kind of guy that I'll probably knock the F out if I see him. But I also have to stand there and say, you need to prove whatever allegation. One of the girls was on video saying, leave me alone, I'm happy where I am. He's not doing anything to me, this is my choice or whatever. Maybe she's coerced, I don't know. but there has to be more. And what is really really galling to me is to watch the press conference from one of the fathers, who was well kitted up, like he looked like he had made makeup done. And
So
you
he
had your
really
lawyer
came
beside you,
for the paparazzi.
right? Right. And you had your lawyer beside you. Your lawyer should be the one talking to the press, not you. So to me, it just sounds like, okay, these people have lost control of their adult children, and they're looking at R. Kelly and going like, we can get him for the money. And the only way to get him for the money is put so much stuff out there in public that he probably
You'll have
will
no
call
choice
them and
but
say,
to
let's
settle.
settle.
Yes. Does anyone have any other opinions? I can hear Taiwo's voice in the background. Taiwo, new ringtone. Shala Fialoa.
I think I'm right. Okay.
Nice. So what do you make? Yeah, go ahead.
Like Donna was saying, right? There's no evidence that Arkady is done anything illegal or he's doing anything illegal. So based on that, I've got no qualms with what he did. Even that history of Aliyah, they were dating, that they were married, nothing was proven.
Okay, but does it leave, when you think about the fact that there are musicians that you'd never heard anything about, or that you never, does it leave a taste in your mouth when you want to? So do you feel okay just buying R. Kelly's music, like, kilo call they haven't proven anything, or does it make you stop for a minute?
I'm quite biased when it comes to my favorite musicians, right? I don't care what they say they've done if there's no smoking gun, right? If there's no evidence that they've done it. Especially in America, when it comes to artists, I'm very skeptical. Because like there's the same way they treat black artists when it comes to American justice as compared to white people. I'm very skeptical when it comes to that. As long as there's no concrete evidence that he's done it, I don't care. Even recently, they say O.J. Simpson as well. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty in the court of law. People are saying he did it. He did not, according to the judge of court of law. He didn't do it.
Yes, but that wasn't, O.J. Simpson isn't, he was found guilty of robbery, and then they took him to the cleaners, basically, because nobody should spend that amount of time behind bars for robbery of his own freaking paraphernalia, by the way. But let's move on. So you're saying that unless there is proof, unless there is a smoking gun, unless there's irrefutable proof, it doesn't bother you one way or the other?
It doesn't bother me one way or the other, no.
Fair enough. Rachel, anything else to add to that?
Not much. The only place I differ is, yes, it's our business, because if we don't put all this stuff out there, how would we have topics to discuss on our hour? So please.
Yeah, so y'all keep giving each other herpes so that we can have something to talk about.
It's our business. Personally, we don't need to know. Of course, we need to know this kind of things. Apropos, what cannot happen.
Right.
I'm sure regular people will still disgrace themselves.
They need to be giving us an hour. Sometimes you look at that news. I see it as comic relief when I read the stupidity, and that's what I use a lot of it for. I'm like, oh, okay. For R. Kelly, most of those parents took their kids to R. Kelly.
That's right.
It may be uncomfortable. People might frown at it, but the bottom line is they're adults.
Yes.
So unfortunately, there's nothing you can do legally. You cannot hold him. You took your kids to him.
Yes.
And they're enjoying the lifestyle. Hugh Hefner did that. This was what Hugh Hefner was known for. So we have a black Hugh Hefner right now. What the heck?
Yeah. So they need to deal. It's the same as Michael Jackson. I'm not saying Michael Jackson was completely innocent, but do you know what it is to get into Never Never Land? Never Ranch. What was that place called? You don't just wake up and say, oh, I have nothing better to do. Why don't I go in and enter Michael Jackson's house? These parents brought their kids to come and look at Giraffe, to come and play with Michael Jackson, to come and sit around with Michael Jackson, to stay the night, to the point where they were drinking Jesus juice, to the point where they were... Sorry, I think Ty was about to say something. Go ahead.
What I'm going to say is sorry to jump in. It's like, Michael Jackson, he had a psychological problem. He doesn't see himself as an adult.
Mm.
He saw himself as a kid. So,
But that is not my business. You can't be seeing yourself as a kid around my baby. So for me to take my child to your house, then that's my problem.
Exactly. But you can't see from where he's coming from. He doesn't mean those kids any harm. He doesn't.
I don't know for a fact that he didn't mean those
what
kids
he might
any
have
harm.
done that might have been inappropriate. What he might have done might have been deemed inappropriate if he was really looking at it from an
My
adult
whole
playing
point
with a
is
child.
he
But
wasn't
was looking at
walking
it
on the
as a child
streets of
playing with a child.
America touching random children. These were children
Yeah,
in
of course, he carried them to his house.
Neverland or whatever. These are children that their parents brought them here. These are children that their parents brought them here after, rumor number 1, scandal number 2, rumor number 3, scandal number 4.
After payments was.
Kept bringing them.
And you kept bringing them. So you can't tell me there is no money attached to these rumors. You can't tell me there's not, hope of a payoff.
Reward.
Yes.
Payout, yeah.
When you bring your child to a suspected, a rumored, we don't know that he is or we don't know that he isn't, an alleged, someone who is inappropriate with kids. So since we're talking about kids, we might as well talk about short people. Kevin Hart, what is going on with Mr. Hart?
Excuse me, I take that personally.
What's wrong with short people?
I take that personally.
There's nothing wrong with short people. Look at them. Just
look
look
at them.
Look at them coming
I didn't know you. I didn't know you were, but you have to remember, Bimbo, you look for trouble on Wednesday, so.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, but again, I now apologize that I now even told her she was a fine girl, and
I
now
will
she
still tell
kept
you
that
sorry
in mind.
after
You kept
now.
in mind for 2 days. You can keep going 2 days.
I am Ijebu. You're lucky I didn't go to my Babalawo. So,
Babalawo can do that. If you tell you that one, we can't touch her. You told us in the Kurudu, we can't touch her.
I'll apologize before the end of the show. Just remind me. So, Kevin Hart, he's got rich midget problems. His wife is presently 6 months pregnant. She's up on Instagram every day putting pictures of her baby bump, how she's still looking fierce even though she's pregnant, how they went through. So all of her social, and he's in some of the Instagram shots, how he's so, catering to her, blah, 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 blah. Although, me doing the research for this show, I saw a video, an interview they had done just when she fell pregnant, and he was like, left to him, he didn't want any more babies, but he appreciates the fact that she's not had any before. He's got 2 kids by his previous wife. So this is her first child, and he's like, oh, you have to
How was she going to lock down those millions? How was she going to lock down the
Right. Alimony is not for the...
So now, like, she cheated with him. So basically, she needs to lock down some money, man. Best way to do that is...
Well, I would like to believe that they both fell in love. Okay, so if that
when he was standing on his millions, on his stacks of his money, he looked almost up to her height, and then she fell in nonsense.
I am a vertically challenged woman, and I would not go for a vertically challenged man if his ass was not covered in millions. So let's not even be lying about that bullshit.
And also,
God, Bimbo, please.
Let's talk about how you get them is how you lose them. She was cited by his first wife, this, what's her name now? Eniko. This current wife was cited as that Kevin Hart did a lot of infidelity, but this wife now was public enemy number 1. He couldn't stop shagging this auntie. Now, he was videoed for at least 20 minutes in a car being inappropriate. No one is saying they went on and had full-on sex with a lady in the car. And there was a point where he jumped out of the driver's seat and entered the same passenger seat with her. So that front seat of the car, not the driver's seat, but the passenger seat, there was a point where they were both seated in that seat.
Damn, he must be really that short.
He is that little. I'm sure he was in the glove compartment. Nobody can tell me Kevin Hart was not. No. He's
I thought he was in the glove compartment.
This one that wears high heel up and down, as short as he is, he has to be rich. Otherwise, I don't even know how. Because of him, I went to Google, do little people have regular human-sized penises? Because I'm like, how is he doing it?
Oh my God.
Oh, good. But he's not really a little person.
He's not a little person. He's just like, I need binoculars. But yes, for those who are
you know what? He was short enough that he could have been he casted for Lords of the Ring as Frodo.
Bagam, the Dolakwa just called him a hobbit. Dolakwa just called him a black hobbit. This is the thing that is happening on Aproko Hour. They said Kevin Hart is a black hobbit. So
black hobbit.
You know that the man is just a little bit under 5'5". He reached 5'4", so he's not exactly that short.
Why is he always standing next to models that make him look really tiny? So
he's
anyway,
5'4.5".
I am 5'4.5". A man that's 5'4.5" is a midget. But let's move on. For those of you who are interested, yes, small people do have normal this thing doesn't affect everything. I just said I should tell you that one. So if there's any smallie that's greeting you,
so what you're saying is that the dwarfism does not affect that region.
That thing is not there at all. All the chromosome, all the everything is firing. So
Good to know.
At top speed.
Firing at top speed.
Firing at top speed. So I mean, America, y'all need to write down lists of noisemakers because this week you were just on top of it. The only thing that saved you, Americans, is Mr. Dun 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 Stubborn Dick. Stubborn Dick. Dolapo.
I don't know this one. No.
Dolapo, you don't know Stubborn Dick. You're missing. Dolapo, you're missing. It's Rachel America that has to give you this gist.
Because I read your post on Viva page and I kept going, what is this one?
It is Dolapo. You remember a few weeks ago we dealt with a story about DNA, where some guy was asking about DNA for his kid in Nigeria, that is, and women came out to say, how can you be asking of DNA? And then out came the whole thing about how many men are actually raising kids that aren't theirs. Remember we treated DNA like a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
The story initially came from a sex group, a secret or locked, I guess is no longer secret, sex group on Facebook called Ila Otu, which in Igbo means licking this thing. When you lick, when you get a plate, wait, let me explain it very well. When you get a plate and then you lick the made in China from the bottom of when you lick, that's Ila Otu. So,
here I would die.
Exactly. In fact, they had to close the group at that point. Facebook closed down the group. The DNA fallout was so massive. So the group came back. In fact, the group never came back. Facebook closed it, and that was the end of Solomon Grundy. The owner of the group started a new Ila Otu all over again, and they're only now trying to get members. At the time they closed it, they had in excess of 150,000 members on Ila Otu. Right now, they're on like 25, 26. This is research. Don't ask. This is not like because I'm in the group or anything like that. I did research.
Raise your hand if you believe Rachel.
Can we
Raise
move
your
on,
hand
please?
if you believe Rachel.
I need a cup of water.
So anyway, this guy, some people that say, oh, the first person to cry to call police is the innocent one. He went to his page and tagged the lady and says, you guys, Amaka Abara is a long throat girl. She begged me to send 10,000 naira into her account as transport money to come visit me. I collected her account number without sending her the money. That's why she's talking nonsense about me. please resend your account number. Let me send you the 10,000 naira so that I can have peace. Please and please. So everybody was like, all this gold digging girl safe. Come on, 10,000. Now, wow, that's how the lady came and she shared her own story. But not only did she share the story, she had receipts. Oh, screen munch upon screen munch. Uncle was like, baby, please can we hook up? I met you in Ila Otu group. Where do you stay? I like you. I want to meet you. Blah, 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 blah. Disturb this girl, disturb this girl. So many video chats. He kept on calling videoing her, all of which she didn't pick because you can see all of them. You missed a video chat with, you missed. Anyway, then the guy comes back. Please, I can't. So the lady says to him, can you face your wife? Stop flirting. And he says, no, I can't. In fact, I can't wait. Baby, please, let's do video sex. My dick is on fire right now. I want to come for you now. I'm masturbating. Are you there? He fires her another video chat. She no answer. Fire him another one. She no answer. Hello. Then at this point she says, no. She actually sends a picture of herself. Like, listen, I'm married. This. He's like, no, I can't wait. I don't care. I want to show you how I masturbate. Then she now says, okay, if you're really serious, send this money into my account. And then he goes, oh, yes, that's fine. That's not a problem. I can send the money. I can pay the money. That's not a problem. Send me your account details. So this is where money came into it. But he hadn't paid the money and he was going, please, I want you to watch me masturbate. I want to doing all this nonsense. Then she was like, you know what? Just go and sit down somewhere. This. No, she said, did you send the money? He said, not yet or something. Then she said, you know what? Just go and sit down somewhere. That's how we were all minding our business. So next thing we heard, please, I have a stubborn dick. So definitely meaning that my dick is stubborn. My dick is stubborn
for you. My dick is stubborn for you.
So as in, the year word, the dick wants what the dick wants, basically. That's how we ended up where we are.
Oh, that's what it means. I've been begging my husband to explain stubborn dick.
How will your husband know the meaning when he is minding? Is he in Ila Otu that he will know when they are seeing terms such as stubborn dick and subservience?
Thanks for enlightening me, because now I know what to go and say tonight. Now,
say my dick is stubborn. You said, see, let me explain myself to you. Me, gege bi enikon, I dey hear word. Is this dick you will tell?
Daddy, I'm a gentle person.
Me gege bi enikon, you know I'm not like this. So is this dick? Then she says, oh, you haven't paid the money. Anyway, your loss, not mine. And then he starts, you're a fool, an idiot, long throats will kill you. I haven't sent the money, blah, 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 blah. Then he goes to his page and did, wrote everything that he wrote.
Just told a lie.
Saying, oh, he sent her, he was supposed that she was bugging him for tea fare, blah, 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 blah. I guess in this generation of women doing screen munchies, he thought she would, so I guess he preempted the strike, and unfortunately
he didn't think about it properly.
But then while we were busy minding our business and saying, Jesus, what sort of men do we have going on these days and everything, there comes another screenshot from a completely different lady who says, oh, now this guy where now. So there's a completely different screenshot where she then he'd slipped into her inbox and she said, why are you sending me a friend's request? Please, I don't need your typo. God forbid friendship. Cheap men that want to embarrass women. So maybe she had heard about the whole stubborn dick, whatever. The next thing this guy will say, I want to F your anus and cause you pain. A completely different girl.
You know what?
I think there's a third one.
You know
third one.
There's
a third one floating on Facebook.
What did he say that one?
To him. There's a third one floating on Facebook. This one was preaching to him. He said, I want to fuck your anus, I want to eat your pussy.
Oh my God, you people, I can't say.
Somebody needs to go and get Mr. Stubborn. And you know the funny thing? He's out there. Like, he hasn't changed his name. He hasn't closed his profile. He hasn't done nothing. He's on Facebook. He's loud. He's proud with his dick, as stubborn as you like. He doesn't send any
And
of
his
you.
wife's name and picture.
And if you try yourself, he will slide into your inbox. He doesn't have time. His dick is stubborn, and that's about that. So it's only Mr. Stubborn Dick that helped you people. Otherwise, America would have carried first this week. So.
Yes, Bobrisky now. You forgot Bobrisky.
Oh, Bobrisky is an idiot. Plus, also, he did it in America. So that is another score for you people as well. You went to America to disgrace his generations, not us.
He has cut off the braids. He cut off the braids.
He cut it off.
Yeah, because he called police for the girl. He was made to pay, so he eventually paid. He had no choice but to pay, and then he cut the braids off.
Oh, he did pay. Idiot. He thought he was in
cut the
Nigeria.
braids off.
He's such a silly
Don't
sausage.
mind him.
Such a silly sausage. So that brings us to the end of Apricot Hour. Dolapo, do you feel like you've learned something today? Do you feel enlightened? Do you feel like
in fact, with all the guys that are subject matters and all these cases, I feel some devolution happening.
I tell you. In fact, Dolapo, you're on the ball with that.
We're actually
people are getting more foolish.
But God will help them. Without people like this, then who else will brighten up our day sometimes?
Oh, he's still here. So now he's removed his wife picture. This is Mr. Stubborn Dick. His profile picture is "Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." And, and then his what do you call that thing? The big one at the back, the cover photo, right?
You know what? We're laughing at this guy. This guy might actually be moving on to his next set of victims.
I'm telling
probably
you.
that pastor that pastor that is matching men with women.
His poster, his cover, his wall photo is "Tell all souls about my mercy while there is still time." It's the silhouette of Jesus with a crown on his head. He has been putting Jesus. Everybody is like, the kingdom of God is. So his last post 6 hours ago, "Put God first and you'll never be last." And someone slid in there and said, the kingdom of God is at hand, yet you go to people's inbox asking them for sex chat video for 10K. God punish you there. So much. Everybody's answering him. He's just a silly. A relationship with God is just the best relationship you can have. They have told him waka. Yet he's in Ila Otu. You all need Jesus. I would say you all need Jesus, but even the people that claim they know Jesus are, Ladies and gentlemen, it is 8:05. 8:05. We're in extra time.
Let's go and stop Monica Fish.
Anyway, let me
just 1 minute, Dolapo. Kilo something, Bimbo. Bimbo, what did you say?
Well, let's go and talk Monica Fish now.
I said it. She said something about
8:05.
Oh, yeah, 8:05.
I get now. You kept screaming 8:05. Let's go and chop Monica Fish.
Wait. I have news. I don't know if I'm allowed to break the news. Dolapo, am I allowed to break the news?
Break the news.
Go ahead.
Dun, dun, dun! The Barry White of the Bad Gang is actually going to be in the UK.
Sure.
When I realize, what now? We'll do a actual.
I think we should do a video. Yeah, we should do an actual show.
We do a actual show. Video. All of 4 of us there. Actually 5, because we can invite Tony.
Don't tell Tony. Don't invite Tony. Keep Tony away.
No, for Tony. I'm talking about Tony Jogbo. I'm talking about the.
I thought you were going to say Tony.
We're talking about Tony. No, we're not inviting Tony. We don't want Wahala. We're trying to avoid World War III.
We don't need problems in our lives.
So
yes, the Bad Gang is going to be concentrated really on one continent, with the exception of Rachel. We'll miss you. Let's all take picture with lots of food and send it to Rachel. Very good. That's what we'll do.
Yes.
You are looking for trouble. It's not good.
I hope, first of all, I'll get to meet everybody at the tower. Chill out, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I
don't. You know what? I cook banga soup and starch and do you, Rachel.
Mm-hmm. You know where? Do you know where I'm coming from? I'm coming from Wario. You can't do me
You are
that.
left there already, so it's only memory you are remembering, and I will make a video.
My dear, I'm fat. If you see my cheeks now, I'm fat. Hey, Jesus. The thing Amala used my eye to see this trip. Anyway, once again, we're completely out of time. We look forward to hosting Dolapo and his beautiful wife in a couple days. They're going to land on the shores of the UK. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, next week we're going to have another fantastic show on the Talking Drum for you. And then next Friday, it will be another Aproko Hour. Everybody stay good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye. Bye. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Bye.
You too. Bye.